This is Jeffrey Cohen, Chicago Quantum. I'm here with a Saturn rocket in Cape Canaveral, Florida, Kennedy Space Station. I'm going to walk you down the rocket. This is a fully functional rocket that was not used. Even though the money existed in Congress, the president decided to save money and not fly the rocket. We had already been to the moon 6 times, and it was seen to be enough because the Ruskies weren't going to get there. In fact, their chief scientist died, fell out a window in the basement, which is kind of crazy, but I guess it happened. This is a pretty big rocket. It actually took men, American astronauts, to the moon. It's so big it doesn't even fit in the camera. Look at that. That's crazy. I want you to think about it. This rocket was built before there were personal computers, cell phones, computer numerically controlled manufacturing equipment. There was no 3D printing. This was just like old-fashioned engineering built this rocket. So I'm walking at a pretty reasonable pace here, and this is how big the rocket is. Excuse me, folks.
The end of the first stage was, there was a whole other set of rockets.
So you can see the flag is not the original flag, because otherwise it'd be pointing with the blue and the stars towards the front of the rocket. This is such an amazingly large and interesting Saturn V. Ooh, look at that. It's like a washboard. Try playing that. USA. Now, we're going to pause here at the tail. We're just going to look at it long ways. So, I guess I'm not supposed to do that. Rules of YouTube. But you can see where the thrust comes out. And looking at it, it looks like there's 5 of them. Plus they had stabilizing fins, which they don't have on modern rockets, but it just added stabilization. Look at the size of those exhaust thrust receptacles. Huge. Stage 1, enormously large rocket. Again, built in the 60s. And we built these with Russia, with the Soviet Union, showing you that we were not always unfriendly with Russia. Look at that. That's crazy. No, we didn't build them with Russia. That's silly. We built modern rockets with Russia. We were competing with Russia for this program. These are just enormous. I mean, I will zoom in on one of them. Here we go. Look at that. The fire that will come out of these. So these are not reusable rockets like the new SpaceX. These are one and done. So imagine it's like if you went on an aircraft to fly to Europe and then they had to throw the airplane away. So super expensive. These were used once. So it makes you wonder, they saved it. Is it because they thought they might have to make an emergency launch to the moon? It's interesting. The size of this thing. I love the way this presents itself. So now we're going to walk down the other side. Again, Saturn rocket. Pretty amazing. Almost makes you wonder, like in those movies, where if we had to go back to the moon, would they take this old rocket, throw it up on a launch pad and go? Who knows? I wonder if it still seals and it's all like rusted inside and stuff, but wow. This is enormous. This is an enormously cool Saturn rocket. I'm totally loving this, by the way. I'm so glad to be here. Kennedy Space Station. Mrs. Chicago Quantum made all the arrangements for us to come here, and I appreciate that. We've got a young person with us, and we're hoping that maybe they go into the space business. That'd be kind of fun. Go from quantum to space. All right, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at another stage, right? So first stage, second stage, third stage. 5 more thrusters. It's got to get there. It's got to maneuver. Now, what do you notice? Integrated circuits, don't really see them. No computer chips. No computer chips. How do you fly this thing? With wires? It's crazy. Keeps going, by the way. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. No integrated circuits. It's all engineering at this point. Well, science and engineering. Look at this. Second to last stage. Pardon me, please. 1 big thruster. So it went from 5 down to 1. And I love how they filled it in. That was nice of them. Now we keep going. And we're going to go down to the final part of it, which is where the crew was. Well, actually, this is the little capper. We saw this outside. We saw one of these. No thruster. And there you go. There is the place where the crew is. And this is what will separate out and will come home after a manned space flight. And this is what it looks like on the ground. I don't know if this is real or just a mock-up, but pretty cool. Maybe it is real. Maybe it is real. Look at that. We're going to look inside the crew. Oh my God, there they are. The old astronauts, 3 of them. How did they keep them in there since the 60s? Maybe those are just mannequins. But how cool is that? They've got their hands on the equipment in there. All right, I want to thank you for watching. Jeffrey Cohen, Chicago Quantum at the Kennedy Space Station. And here we go. Bye-bye.